In a world that often celebrates youthful success and rapid achievement, society has set arbitrary timelines for what it means to make it. We're told that certain milestones, graduating college, landing a dream job, getting married, or buying a house, should be reached by specific ages. These expectations can feel like a ticking clock, constantly reminding us that time is running out. If we haven't achieved certain things by a certain age, it can seem as if we've missed our chance, leaving us with a lingering sense of failure or inadequacy. But the truth is, these timelines are myths. There is no universal deadline for success or happiness. Life isn't a linear path with preset stops that determine our worth. It's a winding journey with twists, turns, and sometimes unexpected detours. The idea that we've missed our chance simply because we're past a certain age is a limiting belief that only serves to hold us back. The reality is, it's never too late to change course, set new goals, or pursue your dreams. Each year, each day even, presents a new opportunity to take control of your life and shape it into something meaningful and fulfilling. Consider the pressure people feel to accomplish certain things by their 30s or 40s. Society often dictates that if you're not well established in your career by then, or if you haven't built a stable family life, you're somehow behind. But who decided these rules? The notion that life's possibilities narrow with age is a cultural construct, not a universal truth. In reality, many people find their true calling, passion, or success later in life. They defy the traditional timeline, proving that age is just a number and that the best time to start is always now. There are countless stories of individuals who discovered their path long after they were expected to. Colonel Harlan Sanders, for instance, was in his 60s when he began franchising Kentucky Fried Chicken, having failed at multiple ventures beforehand. His story shows that perseverance and adaptability can lead to success even when the world might say you're too old to start anew. Another example is Anna Mary Robertson Moses, better known as Grandma Moses, who only began her painting career in her late 70s after arthritis made it difficult to continue with embroidery. Her artwork eventually gained international recognition, and she became a celebrated artist well into her 90s. These stories, and many others like them, challenge the notion that success has an expiration date. They demonstrate that it's possible to reinvent yourself, pursue new passions, and achieve your dreams at any stage of life. While it's easy to feel that opportunities have passed us by, the truth is that we create new opportunities every time we choose to step forward instead of standing still. It's not about starting over, it's about starting. It's natural to feel hesitant when contemplating a major change later in life. After all, the longer you've been on a certain path, the more daunting it can be to change course. Yet making a change doesn't mean starting over from scratch. It means building on all the experiences and wisdom you've accumulated over the years. Those life lessons can provide a foundation that makes your new goals even more achievable. Think of every new beginning not as a reset, but as a continuation of your story. Each chapter adds depth, meaning, and richness to your life, and there's no limit to how many chapters you can write. It's not too late to go back to school, learn a new skill, change careers, or start a business. It's not too late to pursue that passion project you've been dreaming about or to build a life that excites you. The only limitation is the belief that you can't or shouldn't because of your age. The power of believing in second chances. The stories of late bloomers and midlife changemakers are more than just anecdotes. They are evidence of the human capacity for resilience and reinvention. They show that life is not a race but a marathon, where each year brings new possibilities and fresh starts. You can change direction, not because you're trying to escape your past, but because you're ready to embrace the future with a new perspective. It's time to let go of the idea that there is a right time for everything. The only right time is the one you choose. Whether you're in your 30s, 50s, or 80s, you have the power to decide what you want the rest of your life to look like. It's never too late to dream a new dream, chase a new goal, or simply live a life that feels authentically yours. And here are some real-life examples. Late bloomers who defied the odds. There's no shortage of stories about people who found success later in life, proving that it's possible to make a significant impact at any age. Take Ray Kroc, who was 52 when he first met the McDonald brothers and saw the potential for turning their small hamburger stand into a global franchise. The empire he built didn't even begin until many would have considered him past his prime. Then there's Laura Ingalls Wilder, who began writing The Little House on the Prairie series when she was in her 60s, creating a beloved set of books that would inspire generations of readers. Her life experiences gave her a unique perspective that younger writers may not have had, showing that sometimes age can be an asset rather than a limitation. These examples remind us that success can come at any time if we're open to change, willing to take risks, and prepared to pursue what truly matters. It's never too late to find your purpose, redefine your life, or start the journey toward a more fulfilling future. Before you can take control of your life and embrace new opportunities, it's important to take a step back and look at where you are right now. Imagine your life as a map. You need to know your current location before you can plan the route to your destination. This is your chance to assess your situation and take a personal inventory. Start by looking at different areas of your life, your career, relationships, health, hobbies, and personal growth. Are you satisfied with where you are? Are there areas where you feel stuck or unfulfilled? Take some time to reflect. Be honest with yourself. Ask questions like, do I find meaning in my work, or am I just going through the motions? Are my relationships supportive and nurturing, or do I often feel drained or neglected? Am I taking care of my body and mind, or have I been ignoring my health? Do I make time for the things I enjoy, or have my hobbies and passions been pushed aside? And you don't need to answer these questions all at once, but writing them down can help bring clarity to areas that need attention. The goal here isn't to judge yourself or feel discouraged by what you find. This is about gaining awareness. You can't change what you don't acknowledge. If you're feeling stuck, that's okay. Recognizing it is the first step toward making a change. Now, let's dig a little deeper. Think about what's causing you to feel stuck. Is it a lack of direction, fear of failure, feeling overwhelmed by responsibilities? Identifying these barriers can help you see where you need to focus your efforts. It's about finding the root of what's holding you back. Write down one area in your life where you feel most out of control. Describe how that makes you feel, and then ask yourself, what would it take to change this? What small step could I take right now to start regaining control? You don't have to know all the answers right away. The point is to start thinking about what needs to change and where you have the power to make that happen. Now, let's talk about the past. Often, we let our past decisions and experiences shape how we see ourselves. Maybe you've made mistakes, faced setbacks, or simply didn't achieve what you hoped for. But those things don't define you. They only influence where you are right now. And where you are right now is not where you have to stay. Your past is a collection of lessons, not limitations. It can shape your present, but it doesn't have to dictate your future. So how do you start embracing your past without letting it control you? First, recognize that regret is a natural part of being human. It's okay to look back and wish you had done some things differently, but holding on to regret doesn't change the past. It only keeps you stuck. What matters is what you do next. Think of a regret you've been holding on to. Now, instead of focusing on what went wrong, ask yourself, what did I learn from this? How can I use this experience to make better choices moving forward? Reframe your past mistakes as stepping stones rather than roadblocks. You're not starting over. You're starting from experience. When we focus on what we can control, our energy shifts from feeling helpless to feeling empowered. Start by setting boundaries with the things that drain you and open doors to the things that energize you. You don't have to do it all at once. Start small. Maybe it's saying no to one extra commitment this week, or setting aside 30 minutes each day for something that brings you joy. It could be as simple as reconnecting with an old hobby, calling a friend, or taking a walk outside. The important thing is to start creating space for change. You're planting the seeds for a new beginning. Remember, assessing your current situation isn't about being hard on yourself. It's about acknowledging where you are and deciding where you want to go next. And as you move forward, keep this in mind. You are more than your past. Your life is not defined by the setbacks or the successes you've experienced up until now. It's defined by what you choose to do with the time ahead of you. It's never too late to make a change. It's never too late to pursue a new passion, to redefine success on your own terms, or to start living the life you've always wanted. This is your moment to take control. This is your moment to begin again. Take a deep breath. Look at where you are and decide where you want to go. Every step forward, no matter how small, is a step toward the life you're meant to live. It's never too late to start. The journey begins now. Once you've taken a close look at where you are, the next step is to reclaim control over your life by setting new goals and creating a vision for the future. It's about giving yourself direction, something to work toward. But the key to setting goals that stick is to make them realistic and meaningful. Start by asking yourself, what do I truly want to achieve? Your goals should align with your values and reflect what really matters to you, not just what society says you should do. Set goals that challenge you but also feel achievable. If your aim is to change careers, for instance, break that down into smaller milestones, like taking a course, updating your resume, or networking with people in the field. Each small step builds momentum and brings you closer to your bigger goal, creating a vision. Visualizing the future isn't just about dreaming. It's about painting a clear picture of where you want to go and what you want your life to look like. Think about every detail. What does a day in your ideal life look like? Where are you living? What kind of work are you doing? How do you feel when you wake up each morning? The more vividly you can picture your future, the more motivated you'll be to make it a reality. Write it down, draw it, or even create a vision board. This isn't just an exercise in imagination. It's about setting your mind on the path ahead. It's a reminder that your future is not just something that happens to you. It's something you create step by step. And remember, your goals aren't set in stone. Life changes, and it's okay to adjust your goals along the way. What matters is having a direction and making progress, even if it's not always a straight line. The little things we do every day shape our lives more than we realize. The way to transform your life isn't through a single, drastic change, but through small, consistent actions. If you want to change your life, start by changing your habits. Choose one habit that isn't serving you and replace it with something positive. If you tend to scroll through your phone first thing in the morning, try starting your day with 5 minutes of stretching or meditation instead. If you usually grab fast food for lunch, start packing a healthier option the night before. The trick is to start small. Set a goal that feels easy, so easy that it's hard to say no. If you want to start running, don't begin with a marathon. Start with 5 minutes a day, then gradually increase as it becomes a natural part of your routine. It's the small, consistent actions that lead to big changes over time. Consistency is what turns an action into a habit. It's not about perfection, but persistence. When you miss a day or fall back into old patterns, don't give up. Just start again the next day. Each time you choose to try again, you're building resilience and reinforcing your commitment to change. Fear is one of the biggest obstacles to making a change. It's natural to be afraid of failure, judgment, or the unknown. But here's the truth. Fear doesn't mean you're doing something wrong. It often means you're doing something right, something new, something that pushes you to grow. Think of fear not as a stop sign, but as a signal. It's telling you that you're about to step outside of your comfort zone, and that's exactly where growth happens. The only way to move past fear is to face it head on. Ask yourself, what's the worst that could happen? Often the fear of what might happen is far more paralyzing than the reality. If you try something and it doesn't work out, you can always try again. But if you let fear hold you back, you'll never know what could have been. To start pushing beyond your comfort zone, choose one small action that scares you a little. It could be speaking up in a meeting, reaching out to someone for help, or signing up for that class you've been thinking about. You don't have to dive in head first. Dip your toe in. The important thing is to take that first step. With each step you take, the discomfort will start to fade and your confidence will grow. The more you face your fears, the smaller they become. The unknown is only scary until you step into it. Once you do, you realize it's not as daunting as it seemed. Reclaiming control of your life isn't about eliminating fear or achieving perfection. It's about taking small, consistent actions that move you closer to your vision. It's about setting goals that excite you, changing habits that no longer serve you, and pushing through the discomfort that comes with growth. You have the power to create a life that reflects who you truly are, not just what you've been told you should be. Start by setting one meaningful goal today. Take one step toward it, no matter how small. Replace one habit. Face one fear and watch as the pieces begin to fall into place. You're not aiming for overnight transformation, you're building a new path, one step at a time. And with each step, you're reclaiming control. It's never too late to take that first step. Every year is a new opportunity, a blank slate, a chance to hit the reset button and start fresh. But often we get caught up in the idea that change can only happen at certain times, like the start of a new year or when something major shifts in our lives. The truth is, you can choose to reset at any time. Birthdays, New Year's, or even a random Tuesday can become your moment to begin again. What if, instead of waiting for a specific date, you decided to use any time of year as your own personal reset button? You can create your own rituals for renewal. Think of each year as a cycle, a time to reflect, set goals, and then take action. Use birthdays to review the past year. Ask yourself what you accomplished, what you struggled with, and what brought you the most joy. It doesn't have to be a long, drawn-out process. Even just writing a few thoughts in a journal can help you reset and refocus. New Year's can be another powerful opportunity. Instead of making vague resolutions that quickly fade, set specific, achievable goals that align with your vision for the future. Break them down into quarterly or monthly milestones and track your progress throughout the year. And don't wait until next January to start again. Use any time of the year, spring, summer, or even the beginning of a new month, as a chance to reset your intentions and course correct if needed. The point is to keep moving forward, even if your path takes a few unexpected turns. The power of annual reflection isn't just about setting goals, it's about making reflection and goal setting a regular practice. At the end of each year, ask yourself 3 simple questions. What went well this year? What didn't go as planned? What can I do differently next year? Write down your answers. It doesn't have to be perfect or profound. It just has to be honest. This simple exercise can provide clarity and help you stay connected to your goals and aspirations. The idea is to develop a mindset of continuous renewal. It's not about rigidly following a plan, but about adjusting your sails as needed to keep moving in the right direction. Finding joy in the process, not just in reaching the outcome. It's easy to get so focused on your goals that you miss the beauty of the journey. But the truth is, life happens in the in-between moments. The days spent learning, growing, and overcoming challenges are just as important, if not more so, than the day you finally reach the finish line. Imagine if, instead of racing toward the next achievement, you took time to appreciate each step. Celebrate the small wins along the way, like sticking to a new habit for a week or completing a difficult task. These moments of progress are worth savoring. Shift your mindset from "I'll be happy when" to "I'm grateful for the progress I'm making today." Embrace a lifelong learning mentality. Each challenge is a lesson, and each setback is a chance to grow stronger. When you see every experience as part of your growth, the process becomes more rewarding than the outcome itself. To embrace the journey, start by setting goals that aren't just about outcomes, but also about the experience itself. If your goal is to learn a new language, don't just focus on becoming fluent. Enjoy the process of learning, from understanding the basics to having your first conversation. Find activities and hobbies that you enjoy for their own sake, not just for what they can achieve. Whether it's painting, running, or cooking, choose things that make you feel alive in the moment. The joy you find along the way will fuel your motivation and make reaching your goals even more meaningful. Let's look at some real-life stories of late bloomers who've harnessed the power of each year to transform their lives. These aren't just tales of delayed success, they're stories of resilience, adaptability, and the courage to start over. Take J.K. Rowling, for example. Before Harry Potter became a global phenomenon, she was a single mother on welfare, struggling to make ends meet. She didn't publish her first book until she was in her 30s, and even then, faced rejection from multiple publishers, but she didn't let those setbacks define her. She kept writing, kept pushing, and ultimately changed her life. Her story is a reminder that the timeline of success isn't the same for everyone, and it's never too late to pursue your passion. Then there's Morgan Freeman, who didn't become a household name until his 50s. After decades of working as a struggling actor, his journey shows that sometimes it takes time for our talents to be recognized, but that doesn't mean we're any less capable. What matters is that you keep showing up and refining your craft, even if the world isn't watching yet. Another inspiring example is Julia Child, who didn't even learn to cook until she was in her late 30s. It wasn't until her 50s that she became a culinary icon and published Mastering the Art of French Cooking. Her enthusiasm for learning and sharing her passion came through, making her a beloved figure around the world. These stories show us that it's not about age, it's about timing, perseverance, and the willingness to start whenever you're ready. The path may not always be straightforward, but each year brings the possibility of growth and change. For anyone who feels like they're running out of time, remember that your timeline is your own. There's no deadline for becoming the person you want to be or living the life you've imagined. Start where you are, use each year as a new chapter, and find joy in the act of becoming. So, as you look ahead, don't just set your sights on the destination. Embrace the process of getting there. Use the power of each year as a tool for renewal, reflection, and growth. When you harness this mindset, you realize that every year can be your best year yet. The important thing is to keep moving forward, keep learning, and keep believing that it's never too late to begin again. Each day, each month, each year is a gift, a new opportunity to live a life on your own terms. Your journey isn't defined by how fast you get there, but by the experiences you collect along the way. Embrace the power of each year and let it guide you to a life filled with purpose, joy, and endless possibilities. Living your best life isn't about reaching some ultimate destination, it's about creating a life that feels fulfilling, authentic, and true to who you are, at any age, in any situation. To do that, you need to redefine success on your own terms and let go of the idea that you must follow a certain path or meet specific milestones to be considered successful. Society often places expectations on what success should look like, certain careers, relationships, financial achievements, and timelines. But success is not a one-size-fits-all concept. It's personal and should be defined by your values, passions, and aspirations. It's time to let go of what you're supposed to do and focus on what truly matters to you. To redefine success, start by asking yourself, what makes me feel alive? What brings me joy, satisfaction, and a sense of purpose? Success could mean building meaningful relationships, pursuing a creative passion, finding balance in your daily life, or simply living with peace of mind. It doesn't have to involve a promotion, a certain salary, or owning a house by a certain age. Embrace the idea that success can look different at different stages of life. It's okay if your priorities change or if the path you take is unconventional. There's no right way to live a fulfilling life, only your way. Life is rarely a straight line, and unconventional paths can be some of the most rewarding. Think about it. Some of the most interesting stories come from people who took unexpected turns, faced detours, or started over entirely. When you embrace a non-linear life trajectory, you open yourself up to experiences and opportunities you might never have considered before. Whether it's changing careers late in life, starting a new hobby, or taking a break to travel and reflect, the path doesn't need to be traditional to be meaningful. Give yourself permission to rewrite the rules and live a life that reflects your evolving desires and goals. The truth is, there will be times when it feels like you're not making progress or that your goals are out of reach. It's easy to lose momentum, especially when setbacks arise. But the key to maintaining motivation is to stay connected to your why. Why did you set this goal in the first place? What drives you to keep going? When the journey gets tough, revisiting the reasons behind your goals can help reignite that inner spark. Write down your why and keep it somewhere visible as a reminder of what you're working toward. Another important technique for staying motivated is to break down your long-term goals into smaller, manageable tasks. When a goal feels overwhelming, it's easy to procrastinate or give up. But when you focus on completing one small step at a time, you create a sense of progress. Celebrate each small victory. It's a sign that you're moving in the right direction. It's also okay to adjust your goals as life changes. Sometimes what felt important a year ago may no longer resonate with you today. That doesn't mean you failed, it just means you're evolving. Give yourself the flexibility to revisit and revise your goals. This process of adjustment keeps your aspirations aligned with who you are now, not who you were then. When setbacks happen, and they inevitably will, don't let them derail your progress. Use them as opportunities to learn and adapt. Ask yourself, what can I take away from this experience? How can I use this to improve? Treat setbacks not as signs to stop, but as signals to reassess. adapt, and keep moving forward. It's also important to pace yourself. The journey toward living your best life is a marathon, not a sprint. Sometimes you'll need to slow down, rest, and recharge. That's not a step backward, it's part of maintaining your momentum over the long term. As you move forward, remember that your best life is not a fixed point you have to reach, but a way of living that you can cultivate every day. It's about continuously growing, adapting, and finding joy in the present moment while working toward the future you desire. Living your best life doesn't mean being perfect or having it all figured out. It's about finding fulfillment in the things you do, embracing your unique path, and defining success on your own terms. Don't be afraid to let go of the expectations that no longer serve you, to take a new direction, or to set goals that reflect your current reality. Living your best life is about creating a story that feels meaningful to you, no matter how many chapters it takes. In the end, it's never too late to live a life that excites you, challenges you, and brings out the best in you. No matter where you are on your journey, remember that every stage has its own unique beauty and potential. So set your sights on what truly matters. Take each step with intention and trust that you are exactly where you need to be. There's no deadline for living your best life, only the opportunity to start right here, right now. The rest of your story is waiting to be written. It's time to take the pen in your hand and create a life that reflects who you truly are, because it's never too late to live your best life.